Hi, I'm Crystal with the Chicago Abortion Fund, and this is Gaylon. She is the executive director of the Chicago Abortion Fund, and we are here tonight to talk about stuff. Well, we have a subject, but we're here to talk about things today. I'm with the My Voice, My Choice leadership group, and this is our monthly broadcast talking about the issues. So yeah.
Well,
hi, everyone.
Hey Crystal, thank you.
Gaylon.
Thank you for being on with me tonight.
Thank you for being here.
Okay.
All right. Well, tonight we're going to talk about something that has been in the news recently, and it's had an impact on us. Tragically, Dr. George Tiller, was murdered in cold blood inside his church on May 31st, 2009. He ran one of the few clinics in this country that did late-term abortions and was an activist for reproductive rights. He started doing abortion procedures in 1973, and he opened his clinic in 1975. And from then until now, he provided hundreds of millions of women with health care services. May 31st was not the first time Dr. Tiller encountered violence. In 1986, his clinic was bombed, and in 1993, he was shot in both arms by an anti-abortionist, which, by the way, he went back to work the next day, like the very next day. In March 2009, he was acquitted on 19 misdemeanor charges on some abortions that he had performed in 2003. So, very sad passing of Dr. Tiller.
Thank you, Crystal, for bringing up this topic. Before you go into asking me a few questions, I just want to give an overview of what we do, just in case people are not familiar with us. The Chicago Abortion Fund provides financial assistance for women seeking abortions in their second trimester, which starts at 13 weeks. We've been in existence since 1985, and we help some of the most marginalized women exercise true reproductive freedom. Crystal is one of our members of our My Voice, My Choice leadership group, and she participates in our advocacy efforts. And so once a month we go on TV and we talk about issues related to reproductive health, reproductive justice, pro-choice, and so forth. And so this was one of the latest issues and tragic events that has happened that has sort of numbed our community, and particularly, people that are doing this work on the ground. Before Crystal goes into her questions, we're going to take a call and see if we can answer that call. Go ahead, caller.
This is Paula, Northwest Chicago. Expertise is abortion, which I did on the Northeastern campus. Late-term abortion half delivers a baby alive.
Thank you for your call. Okay, go ahead, Crystal, with your questions, and let's just get this moving.
Okay. So, Gaylon, how did you feel about Dr. Tiller's passing?
Well, we've financially supported some of the women that have actually gone to his clinic. And so, we felt that impact deeply. I had the opportunity to, sit and have lunch with Dr. Tiller probably about 2006. He was a very unassuming, quiet, gentle, but very passionate man that was very, very concerned about women's health and women's choice, and he believed in that. And so, even though it was in Wichita, Kansas, we did support some of the women that called that were going to Wichita, Kansas. And so it has disturbed me greatly. Yeah. We're going to go ahead and take a call real quick before we go into the next question. Go ahead, caller.
Hi, thanks for taking my call. I just wanted to ask, as somebody who doesn't really know a lot about current abortion rights, can you talk about what states or what areas of the country are more progressive when it comes to women's rights?
Thank you for your call, caller. I don't have a map in front of me. We do have some progressive states across the country. However, the restrictive states outweigh those. So there's some states that absolutely have no abortion provider, and women do have to travel to different states to have a procedure. So without looking at a map, I can't tell you. People think that Illinois is, totally progressive, but in the southern part of Illinois, there aren't any providers, and particularly in hospitals, are not providing those services downstate. So women have to travel all the way to the Chicago metro area to access abortion services. Go ahead with your next question, Crystal.
Okay. My next question is, what does his passing mean for the pro-choice community and the reproductive justice movement?
Well, I think one of the things that has come across my mind is that, donors and people that support this work sort of take for granted the work that we're doing. And it is, some really crazy people out here, some very crazy fanatical people out here, and we're doing this work right on the ground. And so, because we're in a state where it's, abortion is legal. Yeah. And, but people want to take into their own hands what they feel their moral duty and their religious duty and so forth is. And so it makes the situation very intense. And we have to really be careful of the work that we're doing. However, I think that this has motivated a lot of organizations even more to continue to do his work. Me thinking about Dr. Tiller and what he's done and what he's gone through all these years on a daily basis. He was targeted. Makes me want to really continue to work. The things that make me most angry about what has happened is the reasons why I also want to continue this work, why I know that it needs to continue. And right after his passing, we got a spike in donations coming in. And so, the majority of the people, I don't care what kind of polls are being taken, but the majority of the people in the United States support a woman to make her own decisions about reproductive health and reproductive choice. And so, I think, it does make us cautious, but it does make us continue to move forward even more strongly than before. I think we've got a caller. Go ahead, caller.
Good evening, ladies. I just sort of mind-boggling. I'm pro-choice, all right? Now, how can you say you for life and you take a life, and the person that killed...
Thank you for your question, caller. And so, I think it has made us more focused in why we're doing this work and why we need to continue to do this work.
Okay. Well, Gaylon, how do you how can we honor his memory? How do you think we can honor his memory?
I think one of the ways that we can honor Dr. Tiller's memory is to continue to speak out and to continue to do this work, because he did it with such passion. And I can't even imagine, I've seen pictures, I've seen newscasts, I can't even imagine what it's like to go to work every single day and people are standing outside your job screaming and yelling at you, and kids and holding signs, and then people actually trying to do stuff to you, attempt to kill you, and sabotage the clinic and set the clinic. I can't imagine working in those type of situations. And so I think the best way that we can honor him is just to really remember what he went through in order to help a woman. People are getting a lot of things confused. Dr. Tiller didn't make one woman come to his clinic.
Exactly.
The woman made a decision, a legal decision, and she went through that. So there is no